call this meeting of the Oskaloosa City Council to order. Today is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. We start with the invocation from First Christian Church. Please come to the microphone.
First off, I have, is this on? I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I have to say I love it when a God thing happens. I've been preparing for this for several days after Pastor Molly asked if there were volunteers, and I was like, oh, sure, I'll do it. And I was like, what did I volunteer? But I was trying to contemplate over what to say and things, and today in the mail I received this daily devotional that I did not order, but the Bible verse for today in this devotional was Jeremiah 29 verse 7. It says, "But seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and prayed to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare." And then the faith step was, take time today to pray for the city where you live. And I love this city. This is my hometown, and I'm born and raised in Oskaloosa, and I don't feel like things are coincidence. I believe it's a God thing. So let us pray. Good and gracious God, as we gather here tonight in this city council chamber, we give thanks for the opportunity to carry out the democratic process of decision-making by elected officials that represent each of the wards of Oskaloosa. We are grateful for the call to leadership you have placed upon our mayor and the city council members. As they gather today, grant them wisdom to discern the best path forward, to understand the diverse needs of all citizens, and to make decisions that promote justice, equity, and the common good for our beloved city of Oskaloosa. May your presence be felt. May your peace be upon each citizen who has come here to share insight regarding tonight's agenda items. May the outcomes of this city council meeting bless our community in ways that we cannot imagine. And may you continue to be a guiding presence as we look forward to the future of our city. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ibrahim?
Here.
Ocean?
Here.
Ullman?
Here.
Caliguri?
Here.
Dross?
Here.
Hermson? Holberg?
Here. Okay, thank you. First item up is community comments. Item reserved to receive comments from the community for concerns whether or not on the current agenda. Community is encouraged to speak before the mayor and city council. Asked to keep statements brief. Time limited to no more than 3 minutes. Any questions are to be asked of the city staff, council members, or the mayor prior to speaking to the full council, so concerns can be properly researched and answered away from the meeting. Comments to be directed to the mayor and city council only. I did not receive any tags of people wishing to speak tonight, and so we'll move on. Next item up is to consider the adoption of the consent agenda. The only item that caught my attention I wanted to read out was just that there's a item J, a resolution scheduling a public hearing on the vacation and sale of a 50-foot by 16.5-foot north-south alley. It's adjacent to 910 South D Street. With that, let's see, yeah, and also item N, which is the third reading of the 1201 C Avenue East rezoning. Do I have a motion for approval of the consent agenda?
Move.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ocean?
Yes.
Ullman?
Yes.
Caliguri?
Yes.
Dross?
Yes.
Holberg?
Yes.
Ibrahim?
Yes. Okay, that passes. Getting to the regular agenda, number 7, announcement of vacancies we have on various boards and commissions. The Airport Commission, we have 1 vacancy for a term ending in December of 2028. The Building Code Board of Appeals, we have 1 vacancy for an ex officio member. Mahaska County Solid Waste Management Commission, we do have 1 vacancy for a term ending in December of 2025. And on the Civil Service Commission, there's 1 vacancy for a term ending in March of 2029. Getting into the regular agenda.
I'd like to
Hang on
make
a second. Let me get things organized here. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Sorry, no. I would like to make a motion to pull agenda item F.
Okay,
And I'd like to make a motion to pull agenda item B, as a
Okay.
decision was made at the last meeting.
we need to address motions one at a time.
Okay.
And so, let's go in here. First one that was being asked to remove was item F. This one is to consider adopting an elected official pledge of professional civility. So we do have a motion. Is there a second to remove this?
Second.
Okay. The second is from Lisa. Discussion.
I would just question, I think we had this a few meetings ago. I mean, just as far as discussion goes on these regular agenda items, and is that something that we consider now? I mean, again, I'm not an expert in Robert's rules, but is that something we consider now or when those agenda items come up?
It can go either way.
Okay.
And so the way I'm working it is that if it were to come up later in the meeting, you'd still have a motion, you still have a second, you still
Okay.
have discussion. So
Thank
I'm
you.
willing to take it on now.
Okay.
I guess for the folks making the motion in the second, why?
One, it's redundant. We already have a code of conduct in our city policies, okay? And two, it's plagiarism. It is, except for one capital letter and one preposition, it's exactly what Pella's is. And two, it's not just elected officials. Half of it refers to the audience. And the audience, doesn't have that kind of pledge. So for those three reasons, mostly it's redundant.
Okay.
I'm going to take it a little bit farther than Lisa. I'm not trying to keep my calm about this, but I think it's copying. It's not leadership. It's exactly, we changed the font, we put the starburst on, we added the name Oskaloosa, but, and that's fine for Pella, but for me, I guess, I find it offensive. I think that we all took an oath when we became elected officials, and I apologize. Sean and I'm throwing this on you. We talked 2 weeks ago today. We talked for 37 minutes. I can even tell you what time we talked. And I told you about some situations that were going on and some things that happened. And so I question who's going to be in charge of this. I feel like it's kind of bullying. I feel like it's kind of shutting your mouth if you don't like what somebody says or the way they vote. I feel like it's kind of a stab. Also, Janet, I talked to her. She's in Washington, and she couldn't be. She's too remote, and she wanted to know who's in charge. Why did we copyright this? Is this legal? Are we telling people not to tell the truth? And she also said we took a pledge when we got elected. So for those very reasons, if we want to do this, I would like to make it our own. I would like for Oskaloosa, I'd like the council to create this as our own and not copy from Pella. I love Pella. My kids went to school there. I have several friends on the Pella City Council. But if we're going to adopt something like this, it needs to be our own, and it needs to represent us, and it doesn't need to feel like it's going to restrict or shut down people from speaking. Thank you.
Okay.
I just want to add something. A lot of this too has also come from, I read it in the Iowa League's booklet thing. My personal, and it's just me, I do a lot of this, just my nature. I mean, I've been around the world, dealt with a lot of different people, different echelons, whatnot, and I agree, you get elected to be on city council or mayor or what have you, it's just, I'm going to use the words common sense. I mean, okay, but for some people, this is helpful, but I personally don't really need to have this or be reminded. It's just, again, I'm talking about myself. It's my nature. This is something I do. It's just the way I am. I can sit down and have a conversation with anybody in this room, and if we disagree on something, we disagree on something, whatever it may be. But I understand what we're trying to do here, but I don't know if we really need it. So
I guess I felt like maybe, Sean, if you represented it or you brought it, but I feel like being represented by the mayor, I feel like I was offended. I was very offended by it.
But and if somebody was doing this, that's fine. I mean, they're trying to help out or whatever. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I don't think it's really needed.
Yeah, and the whole idea behind it and in talking with folks from Pella, it's the decorum
Yep.
is what we're after on this. It's not to call out anyone in particular. You know, tucked in there is language that is an expectation of folks who come to the microphone from the audience who want to express themselves. Their most effective way of communicating is going to be in accordance with the decorum where you know, there is a sense of mutual respect. The ideas that are being presented, that's what we're here to talk about. And so that's my concern, I guess, is that as I've been talking with other public officials as recently as last week, what I've been seeing and hearing about is where that decorum is being violated. And so you have the kind of non-productive, offensive language being used in such a way as to not further the cause. And so it becomes an obstruction as opposed to a conduit for progress.
And that's the second part, from citizens.
Mhm.
But the heading here is from elected officials. And so I've not seen anything. I've been here almost 4 years in the audience. You know, I mean, people can disagree and they can have different emotions and they can say no. And, you know, families have different ideas of decorum. So I hate for this to be used. I've not seen anything out of line, you know.
I would also like
And I
to,
don't think you can control our citizens. They stay within the 3 minutes. They stay with that. Nobody's uttered, you know, any obscenities. I mean, anything like that. I have a police officer to my left, in case, you know.
sorry, Lisa. I just would also like to add that Janet's not here, and I feel like if this is going to affect all of us, it should probably be. And I mean, she was asking the same questions as, you know, who brought this.
So the motion we have is whether or not to strike it from the agenda. If we go into any further conversation, it'd probably be just as easy to leave it on the agenda. So any other comments before a vote?
So the vote be,
Sorry, Sean?
One of the comments that was made about kind of making this your own. We could, if you wanted to, during a study session, I could walk us through a process that would help to develop our own at a later point. So if that's a desire of council, that's an option.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that she did text that. She said she would like to see it be a study session. Sorry, that's on me.
But after the violent dogs, please.
Certainly. Yeah, I think we've already got that one scheduled, right?
Okay, I hope so.
Yeah, so it'd be after that.
Okay.
But that could be an option.
so the vote would be to strike.
To strike it off the agenda.
All right.
Roll call, please.
Almond,
Yes.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Dross,
Yes.
Holbert,
No.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Okay, that'll be struck off. Let me make a quick note here. The next one, I believe, Lisa, you were making a motion to strike item B.
Right.
This is to reconsider a resolution in support of the proposed terms to be included in an agreement for a private development agreement between the City of Oskaloosa and One West LLC,
Right.
a related entity. Okay, this is one that is a result of a tie vote in a prior meeting. Aren't we required?
No.
No.
Okay, so
It's a
we,
legal question.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in, if I can get to my email.
Interesting question. As you can see, as I shrug there, obviously that's the policy we've had for a long time. If something fails, it automatically gets kicked over the next. I'm not sure there's anything formally saying, yes, it has got to be that. I mean, that's once again a policy that we've adopted, a policy that we've followed. Policies that, and have been kicking that around a lot. Obviously, those are things that council has adopted to kind of guide how it proceeds in certain situations, but legally, if the council is of a mind to not consider, I think that's certainly within the range of options.
And it's considering we're missing our 3-3 vote, we're missing our 1 no vote, the prevailing tone.
Which is another good point, quite frankly, with that.
And if I
Okay.
So according to Code of Iowa 380.3, if a proposed ordinance, amendment, or resolution fails to receive sufficient votes for passage at any consideration, the proposed ordinance, amendment, or resolution shall be considered defeated. And that is also in our city council procedures. So we had a tie vote. It did not receive the necessary votes for passing,
fail.
so it shall be considered defeated. And that's the,
I know that.
Which of course would be
Right.
true, but obviously something can be brought up in front of council again at any time somebody wishes to do
This is
so.
a point of clarity, in the section 2.9 city council action, it says any measure resulting in a tie vote shall be reconsidered at the next regular city council meeting.
so we're,
That's how it reads in our.
so our policy contradicts state law.
Well, once again, a matter can obviously be brought up again anytime. The council can take a vote and decide we don't want a stop sign at this intersection, and then 3 months later decide, well, yeah, maybe we do want a stop sign there. Obviously, a matter can be brought up again. That does not forever preclude it being addressed.
Right.
I guess for me, since it was a 3-3 vote, and we obviously know it's not an elephant in the room, Janet's not here, so we know how the vote, if no one changes their vote, we know how that vote was going. So I guess I would ask for us to move that to where we're all
And-
there present.
When I hear the words reconsider, I want something different. I want to reconsider, not the same exact policy. And so the same proposals were done. If this was a 5-year graduated, tax statement, or it was this kind of tip, or it was that would be something for me to reconsider. Otherwise, I feel I'm just being pounded or ignored.
Okay.
I would reconsider something. I'm not going to do the same vote in the same way.
So there was additional information that was emailed to the council regarding this. So there is additional information if we choose to take up this agenda item.
Right. And those were also based on estimates we don't know on that grant. Again, when that comes through and we have some hard numbers, I could reconsider that. Right now, it's what if? If the tooth fairy drops down, okay.
Because we met after this. We had a work session, right?
Yep.
We talked about this.
Yep.
We was gonna make some changes, I believe.
Wasn't a
if I
work
recall.
session.
Huh?
We had a work session before the last meeting about
Oh, for,
development.
And
I guess I thought that's when we went, no, okay.
Okay.
I guess for me, I would feel like it was a more true vote if we were all here, considering we know Janet's not here.
Okay. Any further comments?
I can't comment, I guess.
Okay.
Can I, David, is it okay if I just make a general comment about economic development?
I think you
Or
can
should
certainly,
I abstain?
as I understand, you're abstaining from voting on the issue.
Correct.
I don't see any problem with you indicating your feelings and beliefs. Once again, you're abstaining from voting, which is the proper thing for you to do in this circumstance. Insofar as you're making the council aware of your feelings and your personal beliefs, I don't see a problem with that.
How,
And then to further clarify then, so eventually we're going to come to a vote on whether or not to include the agenda item, right? So Bob would be able to vote on the agenda item, but not vote for the,
I would abstain.
Yeah,
Abstain from
that would be the
I'm not gonna create
safer,
that confusion.
that would be
Okay.
a safer course, quite
I
frankly.
would just like to, make a statement from a development standpoint in general. And we talk about, as I read this, the agenda item, I mean, we talk about strategic plan. I think Sean's got that. I think that was actually item A or B. But we talk about vibrant community, thriving community, grow businesses, goal area 1, grow businesses, increasing housing stock. What the decision that is made on this project, I think, sets the stage or tears down a stage for future projects. I think of, I mean, there's this project, there's a project with Hubble, there's the next commercial development, the next industrial development, the next whatever it is. The decisions that we make as council, we set precedents. What does that say to a developer when as they're on the outside looking in? Again, one that is pending out there. Last fall, or maybe it was in January, I think the council, I did not vote on it, but approved a project, a letter of support for Hubble Realty out of Des Moines for a workforce housing tax credit. I would assume that when they find out in the next month or two whether they were successful or not, if they are successful, I would guess that they're going to be coming to the council with a similar request. And I think if this is not going to be considered, then what happens to the next one and the next one? And my interest is in a thriving, growing community. And I think just from development in general, again, my experience, whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, those projects all need different types of incentives. I think even within a commercial arena, whether it's a restaurant or a convenience store or whatever those items might be, they all have different models. And as we talked with the Complete Streets policy, I think Sean did a great job of outlining it in that study session. It's tough to put a one size fits all, and there needs to be some subjectivity. But I won't comment about this project specific because I need to abstain.
I have a comment too.
I want to make one more comment. So last Wednesday, my phone rang, and I did not give him my number, but I got a call from Brian, and I put him on speakerphone because I was like, how did he get my number? And we'd email back and forth, and we were trying to have, and I've been helping, and I couldn't have coffee. He wasn't very friendly, and he wasn't very nice, and he tried to explain to me, and I think he thought I was stupid. And he tried to explain to me how I was going to ruin the community and how basically I wasn't for growth and that we're only going to see 40%. And he tried to convince me that the P.O. box was a great thing. And anyway, my husband sat there and listened to the whole entire thing. And so for me, I will never vote for anything for you. You are very offensive. And if you don't think I'm telling the truth, I'll bring my husband in here. I don't need to be belittled. I know what is good for this community. And I don't know how you got my number, but please don't ever call me again.
You included in our attachments 15A.2, this is on our agenda, okay? The member or employee having the interest shall not participate, and Bob has already recused himself not once but twice, in the decision-making process with regard to the providing of such financial assistance. C, the word participate shall be deemed not to include discussion or debate preliminary to a vote of the local governing body or agency upon these proposed ordinances. So you just violated the conflict of interest that we were given.
On the advice of our city attorney,
Right.
correct? I mean, that's the
Right.
reason
So
we
I'm
asked you,
reading
so.
what the city attorney put in here, okay? Is that wrong? Am I?
I don't have the text in front of me, obviously, whatever I gave you before.
It's in the agenda. 15A.2, number 1A, and then also what participate means. So even being in the room is participating in that. It is.
No, we would leave that to the city attorney to offer a judgment on that.
You know, and my feeling and belief would be what I'd indicated before. Obviously, Bob has prefaced his comments by saying specifically I'm not addressing the merits here. He's spoken conceptually to development of concepts, but specifically has not addressed the merits here, number one. Number two, the specific vote right now is simply a removal from an agenda. It's not on the merits of any event.
Okay, with that, roll call, please.
I don't have a motion.
Oh, for crying out loud. You had, okay, I'm sorry. You had the original motion.
Motion
I'm
to
assuming
second.
Rhonda would second, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Roll call, please.
Caligiuri,
No.
Drost,
Abstain.
Holmberg,
No.
Ibrahim,
No.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
I'm just making this clarify, Pam, we're voting to pull it.
correct.
Yes.
Okay. So I've got 3-2, no.
Correct.
Okay, so it'll be on the agenda. Moving on. First up is item A, to consider adopting the revised strategic plan.
Hopefully everyone's had a chance to kind of take a look at what we put in there. Worked with department heads to go through each strategy, develop goals that were in alignment with the council's desires on the plan. So I have a few comments that I do want to get to, but I'd like to start off first just with your comments, your thoughts, and anything that you'd like to say or feedback for us, and then I'll touch on the items that I have after that.
Okay, council members, before I start blabbing
Huh?
on item 2.0, the collaborative community, in 2.1.1.2, it talks in there about taking over the section of road, I believe, in regard to North Market. And so the agreement we've got generally crafted with the Iowa DOT is that once the bypass, Northwest bypass is done, then we would have jurisdiction over North Market. And so where my mind goes is, what's the timing going to be on that? That I'm hoping it happens after the Northwest bypass is open and it's running, and I'm hoping the next piece of that is that it is turned over to us in pristine condition.
Right.
Yeah. So the DOT has actually approached us with a proposal. We scheduled some additional discussion with them because I didn't agree with that proposal. But the form of that proposal would be an agreement that essentially has them continue to have ownership until such time as it was open. But we would have something in writing in place that was in legal effect, but the actual city ownership and city maintenance and that would not start until after the bypass was open and running.
Okay.
And it, but we would acquire, once that thing is up and running, there's going to be a date set to where the city will take over North Market, right? It's not.
It might not be a set date. It would be based on the acceptance of completion of the project.
Okay.
But essentially, yes. It's just not. I can't say it's going to be August 21st,
No, I get it.
2026.
That won't include South Market though, right?
It will include South
It will
Market.
include South Market.
And to the question as to the condition, the DOT, one possibility is the DOT could approve the road before giving it to us, but more commonly what they do is they include compensation for us to take the road
Okay.
in order for us to perform those improvements.
Right. So any funding that's already been, how do you say it, allocated to North Market for repairs, whatever it may be, would that come over to the city from the state?
So essentially the form of proposal that I would expect this to be finalized is the city taking ownership of the road at some certain date to be determined, and along with that ownership transition would essentially be a check to the city in some amount.
Okay.
And then from that point on, essentially the DOT would wash their hands of the road.
Sure. No, I get it.
Entirely.
Yeah. Okay.
Another comment I would make too is that some of the estimates that Sean has kind of put together would be that street is in need of a reconstruction, more or less. The DOT views it more as like an overlay, and there's a very big difference in dollar amount. So when you're talking about pristine transfer, they basically said no. They're not going to do like reconstruction costs.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So I'm thinking that we don't have anything signed, but we do have a conceptual agreement. Is that right? Okay. Okay. Also, 2.2.1.6. This is the implementation of artificial intelligence into our city operations. And so what I have in mind is that I had received an email from a guy that said, hey, I'm interested in, to be general, opening a business. What are the permits and what do I need to do in order to open this business? And so what I did was drop it into an artificial intelligence model specifying what do I got to do in Oskaloosa to open this business, and it kicked out, I think probably about 16 or so odd paragraphs, step by step by step. And so I'm thinking some of this sort of exists already. But is there a general plan for how would this be implemented? Or is it something along the line of, well, what we're going to do is we're going to drop all of our policies and procedures into an AI model, and then that becomes the database for future questions?
That's a great example of how that can be used. I talked with, I think it was the city of Bondurant about this. They have several different features like this related to their policy that it just helps residents to understand what they need to do. But for me, it would be researching the different areas that we can do this in. And I'm sure that implementing these are just going to take quite a bit of time. So I would want to see what's out there and then kind of strategically say, okay, this one would be the most beneficial to residents. Let's start there and work on it and then create a new one and continue on.
Okay.
But there's a lot of cities that are doing AI. So I'm really interested in trying to do that here.
Okay. Okay. Council members.
I like how they've already started checking them off the list.
I don't have any, but I like this software.
I do too, yeah.
I'm just waiting for more stuff to get populated in here first, see how it goes. So,
It's a lot easier to go through, yeah.
I think it shows that progress. So when someone goes, what's going on with that? It's easy to look and go, here's where we're at. So
Yeah, hopefully this empowers you as council to know specifically what's going on, all the nitty-gritty details that we can provide to you.
Yeah. Was there anything you wanted to draw our attention to?
Yes, there's a few things.
one.
The first thing is, I wonder if the council's okay with this being the quarterly report, where it's kind of this interaction and just discuss.
I was just
how
gonna
things are
ask,
going
Yeah.
how often?
Quarterly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know that we've done previous, to me, different quarterly reports. It's kind of a PDF sort of, document, but I think, just wondered if council would like to have this be the quarterly report.
I would.
I think it's a good idea, yeah.
Okay. The next one I just wanted to draw attention to, in 1.4.1.1, with the Parks and Recreation needs, I know we had a little conversation about doing a survey, and in Plan Oski, it does identify, there's like one page that shows the different, what residents would like to see in our parks improvements. So I thought we could bring that to council first, and then if you feel like that's enough to kind of give us direction, we could go with that. Or if needed, we could go and do another survey at that point. So just wanted to explain that.
Okay.
The next one is 1.4.1.2. So this one in Plan Oski, it talks about creating an arts and culture commission. And I think with our community being very arts and culture oriented, this could be a really great opportunity to advance art and culture into our community further. Because we have one group that already, Marion, kind of works with them once a month. But this just gives them a little bit more authority to do some things and to advise council on what they think would be helpful. There's some different things that I wrote down here, so they could work on a public arts master plan, implementing the downtown master plan. There's so many things in there that we could do, and they could advise us on what should we do first. The entryway concepts is something that I think is a really good thing to revisit, and they could help us with that too. Another thing that is interesting is so with the local option sales tax, you have the 5% that goes to our Recreation Community Foundation, and then there's the 1% that goes for parks related items, and then 1% that's tourism related. We've used some of that funding has been allocated for staffing that's doing tourism related activities, and now we've allocated that to the general fund. So basically each year we should be getting about $50,000 that will continue to come to us that we could use, and I think that this commission could take that money and maximize that money. they could try and get grant matches to do some of the projects that are, identified in all of our different plans. And I think that empowers them really to think creatively and how, what's that first project that we should go after that will help the community. So I won't go too further into that, but I think you get the point. I think that's a really cool opportunity to help the community. So I wanted to see if that would be okay if we went forward with that.
Well, we talked about that in Plan Oski meetings that we were having about that commission, arts and whatever it's called, commission. We talked about it, but I didn't go no further, so maybe we could bring that to light and go, talk about it. What the functions would be, what they're, what they would do, and as far as funding goes, yeah, we need to talk about it.
So
I think
we could bring that back maybe as a specific item with some suggestions of what that would look like, how that would function. Yeah.
So is there
can we do a work session on that? Can we do a work session?
We could.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then this would operate just like all our other commissions. People have to apply and.
And being part of one of those groups up there, we have a good group of people that really want to help and get involved.
Yeah,
So we've done a lot already, but yeah.
We already volunteered him to run the commission. No.
Okay, so bring that back as maybe a study session item at a future point.
Yep.
And I think there's one more, 2.2.2.1 talks about the creative community engagement model that incorporates the voice of residents and visitors and enhances the transparency of government program services. So my question for the council is, or I guess to make my comments first, that doing a community survey I think could be beneficial for us just to get a pulse on what residents think about our services and where we're going. I really like the plan in the survey that's in Plan Oski. It has great questions. I would just modify that a little bit and then we could do it once a year. That would be my preference, is to do it once a year, because then you can just see that progress towards how they're thinking we're doing. So just want to get feedback if that would be okay to move forward on something like that, or if we need further discussion.
Good with me.
I think so too.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. And I think that, and the last tiny thing is 4.1.1.9. That is a duplication of 1.2.1.1, so I'm just going to cross that one. So that's it.
Okay.
Looks good.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. Item B. This is to reconsider a resolution in support of the proposed terms to be included in agreement for the private development between City of Oskaloosa and One West LLC, or a related entity. This was tabled at the August 4th meeting for more information. A tie vote on the August 18th meeting continued this item to the next meeting per council policy. So One West is a proposed $11.2 million three-story mixed-use building. It's on a 3-acre site on Coal Mine Loop. Project includes basement parking, first-floor commercial space, and up to 36 second and third floor apartments. Developer is Brian Ridge of One West LLC. The project site plan was approved by council in 2023, and it was awarded Iowa Workforce Housing Tax Credits in August of 2024. The project was not awarded brownfield tax credits in 2024, but the developer is reapplying for the 2025 round. The anticipated value of the brownfields credits is $400,000. The developer has applied for city financial assistance. After discussions with our TIF attorney about the unique mixed-use nature of the project, the following terms are proposed. First, number one, the commercial portion, up to 10 annual economic development TIF rebate payments equaling 100% of the tax increment created by the commercial component of the project. Aggregate amount not to exceed $1 million. For the residential portion only, residential property tax abatement for 100% of the value added by the improvements for a period of 10 years for that portion of the project assessed as residential. So at this time, staff is presenting to council a non-binding resolution of support for this incentive. If adopted, staff will work with the city's TIF attorney to prepare a development agreement setting out the terms and conditions by which the city would provide TIF rebates to One West for the commercial component of the project, and an amended and restated citywide housing urban revitalization plan. This is to provide tax abatement for the residential component of the project. Both the development agreement and the revitalization plan would be brought before council for a public hearing and approval at a later date. So with respect to item 1, the development agreement includes a provision that provides maximum aggregate amount of TIF rebates would be reduced by the amount of any brownfield tax credits received by One West. With respect to this item, the city's TIF attorney also reminds us that A, TIF rebates are funded only by taxes paid by One West on the increased value of the property created by the project and not by any other taxes or funds. And B, the taxes on existing value of the property will not be rebated. Certain school, city, and county tax levies, including the city's debt service levy, are not included in the TIF rebates. So all these taxing entities see some immediate benefit from the increased taxes that are paid by One West on the completed project. And C, the increased assessed value of the completed project will continue to exist after the 10-year rebate schedule lapses, at which time all of the taxing entities will benefit financially from the completed project. So for item 2, staff is recommending amendments to the citywide housing urban revitalization plan and an increase from a 5-year sliding scale, which is our current exemption schedule for residential property, to a more competitive 10-year 100% tax exempt schedule for property assessed at residential to help Oskaloosa fill its housing shortage. The city's TIF attorney reminds us that A, this tax abatement only applies to new improvements creating at least a 15% increase in assessed value. B, the school taxes on the increased value will not be abated for residential projects. And C, this incentive does not require any cash outlay by the city. And D, the incentive will serve as a local match that is necessary for One West to utilize workforce housing tax credits as it's been awarded by the state for the project. So the recommendation is to amend and approve the resolution. First, make a motion to amend the resolution by inserting provisions to require One West LLC to apply for the brownfield tax credits, and if awarded, the maximum $1 million city grant payments would be reduced by the actual value of the brownfield credits. And 2, if the amendment passes, make a motion to approve the amended resolution. So with that, do we have a motion of support for this resolution regarding One West?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yes, did everyone get the email that I sent out earlier today?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone did?
Yeah.
Okay, then I won't reread it. You've got that information.
However, given that we've got a camera running
For the public hearing?
for the public,
Okay, let me go ahead. So the county assessor reviewed the One West project designs, gave us a rough estimate of the potential assessed value for the One West project on completion. The assessor put the value of the commercial portion at $3.2 million, approximately, and the residential portion of the project approximately $4.8 million, for a total assessment of just over $8 million. This excludes the value of the land. The developer anticipates a project cost of $11.2 million. When we put in the $8 million assessment into the if-then spreadsheet that gives us, that we've all seen, it shows that the developer would receive a total of $796,633 in commercial TIF and $772,109 in residential abatement, for a total of $1.568742 million, which is about 400 less than if the project was assessed at 11.2 million. Under this scenario, the new scenario, if the developer were to receive the brownfield grant of approximately 400,000, then the total rebate abatement the developer would receive would be closer to 1.168742. The assessor made sure to emphasize that her estimates are very rough and that there is a good chance it will rate higher when completed.
okay. Okay. So, comments from council? Roll call.
And this is just to pass the resolution as is, correct?
So we have a recommendation in here, as I remember, amend the resolution by inserting provisions requiring One West to apply for the Iowa Brownfield tax credits.
Correct, and then it says if the amendment passes, make a motion to approve the amended resolution.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so
You gotta do both.
process we need to go on. So
So this is
So make-
divided or not,
this would be the entire project.
including the 10-year tax abatement,
Right.
which
Right.
we don't have policy.
Okay.
So one motion that incorporates the brownfield.
Okay. So this does include the language then as recommended, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so items 1 and 2 in here.
Yep.
Okay.
The
Okay.
motion is for the amended resolution.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Drost,
Abstain.
Holmberg,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
No.
Almond,
No.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
And it passes. Okay.
Imagine that.
Item C, consider resolution approving the interdepartmental sale of an Oskaloosa Public Works Ford F-350 to the Oskaloosa Airport. Public Works Department budgeted to purchase a new 1-ton pickup in fiscal year 2026. That'll replace the current 2006 Ford F-350. Council approved the disposal at the April 7, 2025 council meeting. The Airport Commission expressed interest in purchasing the vehicle for use at the Oskaloosa Municipal Airport, and they approved purchasing the truck for $5,500 at their August 4th, 2025 meeting. Sale amount was approved by the Public Works Department. City Council approval is needed to transfer the vehicle from the Road Use Tax Fund to the Airport Fund. So staff is recommending approval. Do we have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Holmberg,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item D, so consider a resolution authorizing a loan payment from Oskaloosa Housing Trust Fund to the Jefferson School Lofts LP for the Jefferson School Loft Senior Housing Project. So at the May 5th, 2025 City Council meeting, Council approved their resolution authorizing a loan from the Oskaloosa Housing Trust Fund to Jefferson School Lofts LP. This assists with the development of the Jefferson School Lofts project due to a $1.4 million gap in the $13 million of project. Developer stated a loan issued by the city for use during construction would be more beneficial to the project than a TIF rebate issued at construction. Anticipated timeline on the May 5th council meeting included that early construction would start by June 1st, full financial closing occurring on September 1st of 2025. Oskaloosa Housing Trust Fund loan, which is part of the closing, would be available October 1 of 2025. The Oskaloosa Housing Trust Fund loan would occur with other construction loans until it was exhausted. Construction completion expected on or about September 1 of 2026, and approximately 180 days to lease up the building and stabilize the occupancy. And then upon stabilized occupancy, the 15-year term would start on or about February of 2027. And finally, a single balloon payment is due on the date of maturity, which would be estimated at February of 2042. Developer anticipates the loan to be repaid by proceeds from sale or resyndication. And so, loan terms approved by council. And construction has to be completed by December 31 of 2026 to avoid loan default. If the loan is in default, interest would accrue at a rate of 5%. And number 3, due to providing an Oskaloosa Housing Trust Fund loan, city tax increment financing assistance will not be provided to the project until under the city's urban renewal plan. And number 4, the developer will continue to actively seek and obtain other financing from lenders or other local partners, donors, and or programs to fill the remaining $750,000 gap. As of August 22nd, additional funding had been approved by the George Daley Trust and by Mahaska County. So Oskaloosa Housing Trust Fund, it was established in 2000 to address housing issues in the city. Fund was previously used to help rehabilitate Grant and Lincoln elementary schools into affordable family and senior housing, also to construct the Ironwood Apartments in 2015. City Council does have full discretion over the use of its funding. So, recommendation is to approve the issuance of the loan payment in the amount of $250,000 to the Jefferson Loans LP project, subject to completion of the promissory note and mortgage lien. Do we have a motion of support?
So move.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Holbert,
Yes. Okay, that passes. Item E, this is to consider a resolution stating the completion and acceptance of work by Wind Company LLC for the North Park Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project. Wind completed the work on the North Park Sanitary Sewer Improvements Project. They are requesting the city accept the project as completed. Engineering consultant for the project is Garden and Associates. They've reviewed the work, issued the engineer's completion statement recommending the city accept the project as completed. Final contract amount was $756,998.35, which is a net decrease of $5,078.65 from the original contract. The request also includes pay application number 8. This is the final for the release of the retainage amount, $37,849.92, and that's to be paid 30 days after project acceptance if no claims have been made against the work. Breakdown is in the agenda. Do we have a motion of support for accepting?
So move.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Holbert,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Gets us to the end of the agenda. Reports from city staff. City manager. Nothing new. City clerk, anything?
no sir.
Okay, city attorney, anything?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. City council members, Abu.
Got to sit in with the police on a meeting the other day. That was awesome. You guys doing some great work down there. And the fire department got a brand new fire truck, I heard. Smells like a new fire truck. I didn't know that's a new. I didn't know it was a thing. So it does ride pretty nicely. My son got to see it, so it's really great.
Okay, Rhonda?
I just want to thank Scott. I had a couple complaints and a nuisance, and I thought he'll just make his way there. And I literally went by there 10 minutes later, and he was already there and out of the car. And so I appreciate your help. You do a fantastic job with the nuisance, but all you guys do. But was very thankful.
I learned something today. That is not a male rooster. That is a hen.
Oh,
And our
we had
city-
some other
Our
nuisances.
city code does not address female hens that crow.
Awesome.
Something
My ward is
new-
very
something
exciting.
new that we're looking into
Just
tonight.
Okay.
Work session,
Okay, anything else, Rhonda? Okay, Bob.
I'll just say I voted no on considering the Pledge of Civility. Not that I disagree with having it. The way I look at it is that it's. I think Joe said it's one of those common sense things, right? I mean, it is what it is, and it's something that I think that we all aspire to do. But I'd say it's kind of like these business books or self-help books I read. I mean, let's just take the energy bus or 5 dysfunctions of the team, or I mean those types of books. I could think of John Gordon and Patrick Lencioni, and I mean just take John Maxwell. Take any of them. It's nice to have just a good slap upside the head once in a while, just a nice reminder. I mean, as I read through the list, there are things on that list that I can work on myself. So I think it's something that. Just a nice reminder why we're here, and we're all one team.
Okay. Mr. Holbert.
Yeah, I'd like to just thank our first responders and again tell you how much I and many others in the community appreciate what you guys do, both seen and unseen. And then second, I would share to the city compliments from some folks that live outside of our community. They attended the concert up on the square Saturday. It just had a wonderful time and remarked at how well they think the community looks and how much they think that our community has done to help improve and maintain the overall view from outside. So I share that as a compliment to everybody involved in that.
I don't have anything.
Okay, Lisa?
I too was at the concert. I volunteered for 2 hours. It was a nice setup too because the children got to get free spin art and all sorts of other things. And so it was very nice to see because we have a lot of poverty in this town. We have a lot of poverty in this town that we have ignored. And so that was one concert where they weren't ignored. And that I would like to see, I've not been listened to on other things, I would like to see the violent dog issue come up because that is a life and death issue for some of us. I know I've been ignored on that, but when you've been attacked, not once but twice by a Doberman, and thank goodness for the police department coming to the aid. But that is one issue perhaps we can move forward on.
Okay. And so, to that point, maybe it's worth clarifying, we do have a work session set up on that. Next council meeting. Okay, very good.
15th.
Okay, so for the last couple of meetings, I have encouraged people to take their FEMA tests. Show of hands, who's done it? Excellent, excellent. Things are improving dramatically. Thank you for doing that.
Thanks for the peer pressure.
Thanks for putting us on the spot here, Mayor.
Yeah, I think you guys
done, and then I was
feel
like,
terrible. So,
I should have just done both at the same time.
so with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.